This is the first Future Proof Citywide. I am so excited to be your host. Some of you are coming in. Go ahead and take a seat because we have an amazing show for you today. Now, most of us, when we hear the word future proof, we associate it with California, maybe some of us Colorado, but let me tell you, there is nothing like South Beach. All right, so if you're here, I have two recommendations. As a Miami-born gal, you got to eat some Cuban food and you got to dance some salsa. Please don't forget. Okay, so what do we have in store for you today? We have 7 innovative fintech tools. They all get 7 minutes each to show you what they've got, and we got a whole lot of good innovation in store for you today. Before we can formally kick off, we've got to do a quick audience energy check. Because look, these demos are only as good as the energy of the audience, believe it or not. So when I say demo, you say drop. You ready? Demo. Drop. Demo. Demo. All right, I'll give it to you. Okay, up first, we have Water Lily. Notes are modern life, just FYI. Yep. So Water Lily's going to come take the stage and show you what they're all about. They've got some very innovative AI tools and technology, and it's their very first time ever being at Future Proof. So, Water Lily team, I'll go ahead and welcome you on the stage.
Hey everyone, it's nice to meet you. I'm Lily. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Water Lily, and we're so excited to share the AI that we built that fundamentally changes how we plan and how we ensure for aging, starting with long-term care. We'd love to start off with introductions.
Hey everyone, I'm Evan Ehrenberg, Lily's co-founder. I actually joined Water Lily first as an angel investor. I had an early start to my career, went to college at 11, Berkeley for undergrad, went to PhD at MIT when I was 16 in machine learning. Sold my first company when I was 25 or something, and started angel investing, mostly in friends, but also super, super smart folks like Lily, who also went to Berkeley at 14, was NASA at 16, is a patented engineer, has led product engineering at medical device and IoT startups. So that was like a no-brainer investment, but what really turned me to want to become a co-founder was when I actually used the software. So I had no idea what long-term care was, no idea what the cost was, its relevance to me. But when I saw my results predicted by her machine learning, I actually changed my financial plan and also hired a personal trainer, went on a diet, and lost a bunch of weight from COVID. And that's when I knew something was really special. And a lot of other folks have seen it too. We've since received investments from Edward Jones, Nationwide, Genworth, and executives from Prudential, Healthline, and New York Life.
So the reason why Water Lily exists is because I understood firsthand how devastating it is to navigate long-term care. When I was 16, my aunt was diagnosed with terminal stage colon cancer, and we navigated 2.5 years of her daily long-term care needs post-chemotherapy. It was incredibly devastating, not only financially, where we became nearly bankrupt navigating anything and everything for her care, but most importantly, it tore my family apart to navigate this topic without a plan. Navigating all those high-stakes decisions in very little time, it really tore us apart, and our entire extended family, we haven't spoken to them in over a decade since it's happened. And we're not alone in this problem. We actually, I've interviewed hundreds of other families, and I found that they had the exact same type of devastation, and on average, every single American household will go through a serious form of long-term care. Which is why we built Water Lily, is we wanted to help any advisor at any skill set level have the most relevant conversation with any prospect and any client sitting in front of them. But with that, I'll let Evan go ahead and take the demo.
Now for the fun stuff. So Water Lily takes the extremely complex long-term care conversation and makes it something that any advisor can have day one with the client. We break this into 4 simple steps. We start with a really short 3-minute intake form that your client can fill out or you can fill out. Covers their medical information, financial info, some sociodemographic information, family structure, preferences. And then we use that and compare it against our data sets with over 500 million data points that looks at over 50,000 other families that have gone through long-term care events so that we can actually predict what's most likely to happen to your client, looking at their likelihood for a long-term care event, as well as the start age and how this event is actually going to unfold for them. So if we can go forward, we'll take a look at, we actually dive into what their their care trajectory is going to look like. So we don't just predict what the duration is, but we actually break it up into 3 progressing care phases, going from early care to moderate care to full care. With each of these steps, we guide your client through building a care plan around if they want to age at home, if they want to go into a care facility, showing them the costs in their zip code and how these costs are expected to grow over time with healthcare inflation. If they choose to age at home, like 90% of Americans prefer to, we actually go even further and show, just like with Lily's experience, how their family is predicted to step in for their physical caregiving. And this can be a huge eye-opener for clients where they come to realize that their family is expected to take on hundreds or thousands of hours of their physical caregiving and really strongly motivate them to reduce those hours, which drives up the cost. But now you have somebody who is well-informed, ready to take action, and doesn't have sticker shock at a realistic cost of long-term care. Now, my favorite part of the whole system is that we take this cost and we let you pull any financial plan together. So here what we're going to do is we're going to grab an insurance policy illustration. This one's a Thrivent traditional long-term care policy, but you could use a whole life policy with long-term care rider, an asset-based hybrid policy, an annuity-based hybrid policy, a short-term care hybrid policy, a traditional annuity, an annuity with income triplers or doublers. And what we do is we read through the entire document from any carrier, extract all the data, and then model it specifically for your client. So you can understand the ROI, not just theoretically, oh, what's the max payout, but how would it actually pay out for your client's predicted scenario and the care plan that they built. And what's even cooler is we'll walk you through in plain English how the policy functions, so you don't have to go through and build a whole spreadsheet or read a 30 or 40-page illustration. You can just read this sort of one page that's fully personalized just to your client. On top of this, you can do this again and again and again and again and compare multiple policies against each other, as well as against annuities or self-funding to see which has the best ROI or the best robustness. We also invite you to adjust the care projections. What if you have a dementia event? What if you have 2 or 3 times as much long-term care? What if you don't have any long-term care? Well, how does a hybrid policy that has a death benefit payout in that scenario as well? And so what's really cool with this is it's not just a way to have better NPS with your clients, make them feel good, show how white glove your services are, but it actually drives outcomes. So the final step that we show here is a beautiful one page that you can give them. But what we see this drives is that 45% of clients who go through this decide typically to purchase an annuity, life insurance, or long-term care insurance product. We also see over a third change their financial plan for self-funding a portion of long-term care. About 20% go on to do additional estate planning, and 2/3 change their care plan with their clients. And we see this not just drive action, but it also brings in new AUM, as well as, of course, protecting the existing AUM with these products. So thanks so much for listening. Looking forward to see you guys around the conference.
All right, thank you so much, Water Lily. Up next, we have Focal. Focal is a secure AI note-taking tool for before meetings, during meetings, and after meetings. But it goes beyond just AI note-taking and task generation and email generation. It truly automates tasks and actions across all of your WealthStack tools. And as they like to say, your compliance team will thank you. Focal, your demo drop starts now.
I'm here to talk to you about the only thing that is hotter than the Miami heat, AI agents. My name is John, I'm with Focal, and you've probably, frankly, heard about half this pitch already, folks. We're going to be talking to you first about note takers. AI note taking is going to save you time, accelerate AUM growth, and help you do more with your business. But what you didn't know is that Focal is going beyond note taking. Note taking was just the first inning. Focal is introducing the AI agent that is effectively a virtual employee that helps you get work done. Focal, high level, consolidates your client conversations across channels to provide an enterprise-grade AI meeting note experience. What we're doing is consolidating data that allows for us to power the AI agent that actions across your advisor tools. The data that we're collecting is basically the oil that powers the Focal AI agent machine. More on that shortly. Let's first start off with a quick overview of the note taker. Focal compliantly aggregates your conversations across channels. That means in-person, video, voice, and even over phone. We even allow for you to upload audio files from your past conversations. Before your conversations, we generate agendas as well as bios of all of your clients to ensure that you hit those conversations out of the ballpark. Summary generation, after every single conversation, covers everything from data points that you might have covered, dates and times, as well as specific sections like retirement and estate planning. The intelligence that we pull from those tasks and those task descriptions are directly from those conversations. And we also, beyond task generation, generate emails and allow for you to speak with Focal directly on the meetings as well as on the client level. We also play nicely with other tools that are out in the wild today. Think the CRM players like Redtail, Wealthbox, Salesforce. And what we're doing from a data standpoint on the security side, we are uniquely working with Microsoft's most compliant enterprise-grade Azure API endpoints. So agents, what are they? Why are they important? These are not chatbots, folks. I want you to imagine for just a minute if your AI could fill out RMDs. That would be great. Now, what if your AI understood your firm's processes, the way that you work, also the context of all the past conversations that you've had across your client base to help you action across your advisor tools? Now, what I'm about to share is that it's no longer part of the imagination. What we're going to be showing you here shortly is something that we'll be rolling out with a select set of customers. If you're interested, please find us after the presentation. Introducing the Focal AI Agent, transforming your conversations into action. The first thing that we're going to do here is load up a client. Let's grab Sarah. And then we'll load in a workflow, the add client workflow. And you can see that Focal is autonomously on its own without human intervention, adding, form filling, and actioning specific clicks across your tools. Let's see if we can kick off another workflow, maybe a retirement workflow this time around. So you can think of Focal as a partner, an agent, a assistant, if you will, that understands what it is that you're trying to accomplish. It can help you automate a process end to end. What's interesting with Focal is that if it ever gets stuck or if it needs help or support from human input, it will actually pause the workflow. It will provide context around what it is that it needs help with, and then you, the human, will be able to help with the last mile delivery of that workflow. So this is an example where Sarah needs some help inputting her client goals into Money Guide Pro. She's interested in purchasing an SUV. The human steps in, helps out with this last mile workflow here, and let's say that we might not have remembered when it was that Sarah wanted to be purchasing this vehicle. So let's ask Focal, see if Focal can help us with the year that she's interested in making that purchase. And sure enough, Focal, because it has the history of the relationship that you have built with Sarah, it's able to then input into the tool. The beauty here is that Focal sits on your browser, so it's accessible across your tools. We can help you with complex workflows across CRM, planning, tax, beyond just what you're seeing on screen here. So let's say we wanted to follow up with Sarah on an email and generate an agenda. We just pull this up, ask Focal to help us generate a few agenda bullets, and because it has the context of the workflow and the past conversational history with Sarah, Focal could then help us bring that to the email that we want to then send to Sarah. This is the future that we're building towards with Focal. And this is just the beginning. When you think about what can be done here with a general purpose agent that understands your firm, your processes, the context of history from your client conversations, we can help you with KYC, onboarding, account opening, filling out tax documents, and more. There's a long tail of activity that we can partner on together. Focal today is enterprise ready. The AI note-taking platform, as well as the AI agent. Let us know if you're interested. We can operate with you around custom automations, integrations for the larger organizations, and we are eventually bringing these core capabilities even down to the individual advisor. You shouldn't have to go into 10 different tools, folks, and input an address over and over and over again. At Focal, we are building towards a world where your conversations translate into actions. If you're interested in what it is that we're doing, we have the doors open now for customers, for partners, and soon for investment. And my name is John. You can find me at john@meetwithfocal.com. We'll be in the Fintech Alley if you want to come and find us after the presentation. Thank you all for your time, and enjoy Future-Proof.
Amazing presentation. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Up next, we have Super Advisor. Super Advisor is an all-in-one platform like you've never seen before. Authentic advice supercharged by technology. From CRM to portfolio management, onboarding to client portal tools, and way beyond, Super Advisor helps investment advisors spend time where they're good at. Super Advisor, show us why you are so super.
Your existing CRM was never really truly built for advisors. Even advisor-focused CRMs were heavily looking at traditional CRMs for how they were built today. We thought, instead of being built for sales, what if we built something truly around ongoing client service? Instead of it just being a place to store your data, what if we started with the advisor and client experience first, then figured out which workflows would drive that experience, which tasks and activities will really move the needle? Instead of just being a place to manage information, what if it was something that actually helped you get things done? And that's why we built Super Advisor, a true wealth management operating system where CRM is not living in a silo. Instead, all that functionality is built in to how you do your workflows. Let's start with an example here of Helen, who's putting her information in on the advisor website with her household income and investable assets. Our workflows go to work for you behind the scenes, leveraging all the functionality within Super Advisor and third-party applications to be able to build out workflows. We can also leverage AI to make processes customized around your unique business needs. So a lot of stuff just happened there, but what really happened behind the scenes? The website form was received. We created a new lead in Super Advisor. We set their financials in a new opportunity, discovered and read their LinkedIn profile, updated their profile based on things we learned in LinkedIn, drafted up a personalized email, sent an introductory meeting request using our built-in calendar software, and then notified the team on Slack about the new lead in our system. We asked, you can customize your automations and integrate with any of your other apps. If there's an API, we can integrate with it. We asked ourselves for the client portal, what would the ideal client portal look like? It should be their full personal financial tracker. It should make data collection easy for the advisor and for the client, both at onboarding and for ongoing financial planning. And it should integrate seamlessly into advisor workflows. We can make it easy to collect information at onboarding, and clients can even go and connect their accounts with third-party data aggregation to pull in all the information we need to onboard investment accounts and to populate financial plans. Their portal acts as their net worth tracker, tracking everything from their assets and liabilities. They're able to also track all of their different income and expense sources, all of their transactions, and it'll automatically determine their recurring bills and subscriptions. They can see an aggregated view of all of their investment accounts, both managed with you and held away at other institutions. And advisors can assign action items to clients that can be used to track ongoing financial plan implementation. For the advisor desktop, we wanted something that really gave us a truly comprehensive view of the client, everything from their estate plans to insurance policies and their entire balance sheet. We wanted automation and AI to help drive workflows so you can build predictable and repeatable processes in your business. And we also wanted to integrate all aspects of practice management, so this could be the central hub for running your business. Our client profile has everything you need to see what tasks, workflows, meetings, notes, and communications have happened with the client, including a snapshot of their financials. We can track opportunities going from a lead through to onboarding them as full clients, the full activity history of this client, and then you can see their full financial picture, including their entire balance sheet with very rich models around company equity, investing, insurance, pensions, real estate, and private investments. We can track all of our understanding of their different cash flows and expenses and link it with their balance sheet and see all of their aggregated investment accounts, risk profile, and goals. Able to track planned expenses in the future so that we know everything we need to know to be able to feed into other financial planning software and drive different processes. There's even a document vault that automatically reads, categorizes, and pulls key information out of your documents that can be shared with the client as well. And today we're unveiling Super Mode, which is how we bring all this together under one roof to make you incredibly productive. In here, you're able to see on the left side everything that's surfaced to you about tasks and things that you need to do across your business, any meetings you have to prepare for, emails you have to prepare or draft and send out to clients, any workflows that are on the go. And it also acts as a global search across all the different records in your book. So you can look here and see things on Sam Davis and leverage our multi-tab layout to be able to open up many different things to work on them together without having to leave the flow while getting things done. Finally, we have the Assistant tab, which is where we actually leverage AI and agents to be able to attach all the different tools we have ability and workflows that you build in. Here's an example of after I might have had a call with a client and then instructed it to create a task for somebody to follow up, draft up an email to follow up with the client, schedule a follow-up meeting, write a note about our conversation, and it gives us everything prepared for us. We can edit it, modify things, and confirm before sending these things out. It makes it really easy to stay in the flow while getting things done across your different systems. Here's one more example of me searching up some different notes that I might have on Apple, one of the holdings in our portfolio. Again, you can leverage this multi-tab layout to be able to open up some different notes. And say I'm on the internet, I'm reading up some new research on Apple. I might take some of that information, pair it with some instructions to write up a new research note, and it's going to be able to prepare that for us, store it in our CRM so that we can track all of our research on Apple and see it in the client profile. We can also use this and instruct it to, hey, help me answer my client who is asking about our views on Apple. It's going to take our research that we've done previously, draft it up for us, let us edit it, and send it all from one place. Now, this is just scratching the surface of what's possible when you bring all of this stuff under one hood. And if you enter your information before the end of conference on getsuperadvisor.com, you're eligible for a free month, free data migration when you ditch your CRM for SuperAdvisor. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, folks, up next we have Riser. Riser is the only comprehensive business owner engagement platform that empowers business owners' most trusted advisors, you. It allows you to build deeper relationships with business owners across many areas like wealth, risk, exit, and task planning. And as a business owner myself, I can tell you this is needed. Jason, come take the stage.
Appreciate it, Diana. We are Riser, and we believe that business owners need better advice and that you, their advisors, need better tools and technology. You see, for decades, you all have had the access to the tools and technology to give great advice to the individual, to the household, or the family, but the business has largely been ignored, leaving you as the advisor in the difficult place where you've got to treat the business like every other asset on the balance sheet, until now. So Riser is the only comprehensive business valuation and engagement platform that allows advisors to give insights to business owners across critical areas like valuation, wealth, risk, tax, and succession planning. You see, all of financial services is surrounding the business owner because every wealth manager on the planet wants to manage the assets when they get liquid. But the reality is, what everyone's starting to realize is you better be there now providing advice. And so the numbers are crazy. You've all seen them. The opportunity is huge from a financial planning perspective. 65% of business owners have no financial advisor. For an industry that loves to talk about organic growth, there is no bigger organic growth opportunity than serving business owners. Where else could you double your practice in a day? What do I mean? We've got an advisor on our platform that for 10 years managed roughly $150 million. And in one day, he went from 150 to 300 million. Well, of course, he worked with a business owner that got liquid, but what's interesting is the business owner didn't call him and say, hey, I want to see your investment pitch. He said, where do I wire the money? That's because that advisor was there for 5 years providing advice along the way and had built that trusted relationship. From a risk perspective, business owners are walking around with tremendous equity risk in their business. We'll talk more about that. Half don't have a proper buy-sell agreement, and even more don't have it funded. And from a succession planning standpoint, 85% of business owners don't have a documented succession plan. And when you think about the demographics of Peak 65 and all the business owners looking to transition, this is your opportunity. Because far too often, the stated goals and objectives of a business owner aren't aligned with the outcome. And so owners want to see how their business fits into their life plans. When you think about it from a business owner's perspective, they want insights across wealth, retirement, risk, succession, and exit. But how can you as an advisor do that without the tools and the technology giving you those critical insights? And so why is it that advisors are missing this opportunity? We think that there's a lot of people stalled at the starting gate, meaning it can be overwhelming. But the reality is you don't have to be all things to all people. You just have to be willing to play quarterback and pull additional advisors around the table, be it the CPA, the attorney, what have you, and quarterback the relationship and do what you do best, which is give great advice to the business owner. So you really don't have to reinvent your practice. You just need Riser. One of the biggest challenges that advisors face when serving business owners is they've got data that's disparate, it's disorganized, it's all over the place. And so one of the key things that we do is solve the data input problem. We've got deep hooks into QuickBooks in our platform, and beyond that, we built an AI document reader that pulls data out of tax returns. So either the owner themselves can upload the tax return, or you as the advisor can upload the tax return, and we're sucking all of that financial data into the platform. So you upload the tax return, and it falls into the P&L and the balance sheet. From there, we go through a short 12-question qualitative question flow, because from a valuation perspective, very certainly the financials are important, but equally as important is the specific company risk. So we're going to understand things like what industry they're in, owner dependency, key person risk, customer concentration, on and on. And what happens is advisors that have these conversations with owners are building trust along the way. As important as we think the value of the business is, it's really irrelevant without the context of this number, which is what we call the dream value. So if your business is worth 10 million bucks, that's all well and good, unless it needs to be worth 20 to accomplish your goals, hopes, dreams, what have you. So from a financial planning standpoint, you can bring in, whether you've got the capital needed to fully fund retirement, you can bring that number in, or if you just have the income, you type in the income and we're going to back into that dream value number, helping deliver a critical insight to the owner. And then you wind up on the dashboard. So in the dashboard, we're going to go through things like current value of the business, and we provide a range along with the income that generates, and then the dream value of the business. From there, we're going to give you an EBITDA chart and some growth opportunities, as well as the risk score, and then we're going to launch you into the conversations that you want to be having. Everything that we do at Riser is about launching advisors into deeper conversations with owners on the things that you want to talk about: risk, wealth, retirement, on and on. And then from this dashboard, you can generate this business insights report. So a completely white-labeled business insights report that gives you, has your look and feel and allows you to talk through all of these critical insights with the business owner. So we're going to talk through the valuation estimates, how we got there. We're going to talk through the dream value and the implications across your tax and estate plan. And then the risk assessment. We'll talk about that in just a second. So think about a couple of the insights that you now have at your fingertips. And you saw just a minute or two, you can get all the financial data in, you go through the qualitative question flow, and now you can talk to owners about the value of their most important asset. Because for far too long, it's just a plug-in number. Now you can deliver an accurate value of their business along with the relevant context of what that dream value is to accomplish their goals, hopes, and dreams, and the income associated with it. From there, we're going to show you this EBITDA growth chart that says, here's where you've been over the last 3 years, and here's the EBITDA required to reach your dream value, and how long it's going to take you to get there based on the projected growth rate. So are you on track or off track? It's a critical insight to be able to share with owners. And then this risk score. So every business has risk associated with the business from an operational standpoint. So is there high owner dependency? Is there customer concentration risk? Do I have key employee risk? Most owners know this stuff intuitively, but the reality is they don't have an advisor standing there holding up a mirror to their face saying, here's how the risk is dragging on the value of your business. And here's where it can hurt at exit or at transfer time. And then the single most important risk that most business owners face. You think about it, these owners have built their business, they've poured their blood, sweat, and tears into their business, and they've got all this equity at risk if they don't have a proper buy-sell agreement in place and if they don't have it funded. So remember, as advisors, you get paid for the size of the problems that you solve, and business owners have real problems. If you want to start growing with business owners, check us out at riser.com. Thanks for having us.
All right, Riser, thank you so much. How's everyone doing? Quick check-in. Good? Okay, all right. So up next, we have Careful. Careful is an AI-powered financial safety platform that helps banks, credit unions, and wealth advisors protect older adult customers from fraud and money mistakes, which we all know is quite common. If you provide Careful to your clients, you can turn potential catastrophes into hero moments for your firm. So Careful, show us why we should all care. Thanks.
How many of you have older clients? How many of you have a mom or dad that calls once a week and asks if they should click on this link? You need to be careful. Sorry, dad joke. Elder fraud is a $37 billion problem. 1 in 3 of your adult clients have had some sort of experience in the last 12 months with frauds or scams. Unfortunately, 62% of that has occurred within their trusted circle. It's the caregiver taking advantage of mom while you're at work. It's the sibling taking grandmom to the bank every 2 weeks to take out their inheritance early. It's dad adding that new love interest to his accounts. It's a problem, and it's a bigger problem for the 45 million financial caregivers that are out there. Careful is the only platform designed for financial advisors to protect their older clients from fraud while building what we call next-gen relationships. For example, when my mom goes to CVS and she buys $400 worth of Google Play gift cards, she receives an alert. Not because she bought $200 worth or $400 worth of gift cards. Her bank or credit card company would probably figure that out. But because we see a pattern. We see that she took out a home equity line of credit. We see that she signed up for an online dating site. We see that she added a trusted contact that wasn't a family member. We see that she started sending Zelle payments to this new contact. We can confidently say that that's the #1 scam out there, which is a romance scam. By the way, the same time that my mom receives the alert, I receive the alert as a trusted contact, which I'll talk about that here in a moment. So what is Careful and how does it work? It's actually pretty simple. It's a service that you provide to your clients as a benefit of working with you. You send them an invitation. They enter their first name, their last name, their email address, and they activate their identity theft protections, including $1 million in identity theft insurance. So if they do nothing else, they still get the insurance. From there, they go into the Careful dashboard, where they'll see things like their alerts, protections that they haven't signed up for yet, as well as articles on the latest scams. In addition to that, they get access to some pretty cool tools. For example, Scam Check. So when your client gets that text message, what they can do is they can take a screenshot, they can upload it to Scam Check, and within about a matter of, let's say, less than 30 seconds, we'll detect whether or not that's an actual real text or a scam. And if it is a scam, we'll tell them exactly what it is that they need to do. Once your clients link their financial accounts, we'll actually look back 2 years over their financial transactions to decide what actually is normal spending, so that we can detect things like fraud, money mistakes, as well as cognitive decline. Johns Hopkins actually just came out with a study not too long ago that said that Alzheimer's and dementia will be diagnosed in the wallet up to 6 years before it's diagnosed in a doctor's office. So that when your client goes from driving 23 miles a week or a month to go to their favorite stores down to 2, and their online shopping increases 162%, they'll receive an alert. They also receive other alerts, like, for example, sending a Zelle payment to a new recipient. At the same time, again, that client receives the alert, the trusted contact receives the alert, so they can pick up the phone and say, hey, mom, dad, what's going on here? We also look at things like bill monitoring. And by the way, with every alert comes instructions. So for example, if their account's not set up for online or auto payment, what we'll do is we'll actually tell them exactly how to do it. Or if they want to do it themselves, we'll say, hey, here's the phone number to call. Here are the options to press to get an actual human on the phone. we'll even tell them what's the best time to call. And of course, we're out there looking across the web for things like data breaches, social security number, passwords, so that when we find that stolen password on the web, we'll tell them exactly what it is that they need to do. For example, they can go to the website, they can create a new password, they can save it to the vault. But if you take anything from this conversation, I want you to know that your clients can call us at any time, and we will walk them through it no matter how long it takes. We have amazing care agents out there that have all the patience in the world to help my father-in-law every time we find his email on the dark web. You do not want to be in that business. So that brings us to trusted contacts. So trusted contacts. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but 9 out of 10 adult children will not use their parents' financial advisor when they pass away. And it's simply because they just don't have a relationship. What Careful allows you to do is start building next-gen relationships before a wealth transfer moment. So simply by adding these trusted contacts, immediately you sort of bring them into the conversation. And by the way, on average, users typically add about 2 individuals or even more. So you get an idea of who it is that the client's actually sort of, hoping that like when things do happen, they can kind of lean on this person. And you can sort of start building that relationship sooner rather than later. The last thing I want to mention real quick is Legacy Kit. So this is the latest feature that we just added to Careful. It's actually really powerful. So all the information that you take and you put, or the user takes and puts into the actual platform itself, when the day comes that my mom is no longer with us, her advisor will give me permission to access this Legacy Kit. I'll be able to see what money's coming in, what money's going out. I'll be able to see the trust documents. I'll be able to see the will. I'll be able to see the garage code if I don't have it, as well as our Facebook password. All the things that I need to do to sort of unwind that account. So thank you very much for your time. If you're interested in learning more, click on the QR code, and remember, be careful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Careful. All right, up next, we have Alaris. Alaris is your lens into the landscape of M&A. Alaris works with owners of wealth management firms considering partnerships, typically through acquisitions with larger organizations. In addition to their extensive experience, they developed the industry's first catalog of buyer models through their groundbreaking technology, which we'll get to see today. Alaris, your 7 minutes starts now.
So I'm Alan Darby, the CEO of Alaris Acquisitions, and welcome to the Alaris Lens in Action. So picture yourself as an owner of a wealth management firm, and you're thinking about selling. Maybe you're interested to do it now, or maybe you're thinking about something down the road, but where do you even begin? For most people that we interact with, they tell us the M&A world is very much a maze, with so many buyers that exist out there. The terms and conditions are all very difficult to understand. Valuations are very hard to understand as well. There's a lot of noise, but very little clear direction. Well, what if there was a way that we could cut through all of that clutter? And that's what the Alaris Lens is designed to do. It's built in 2 parts with one mission, and that's to help sellers find their ideal match. The first part is an M&A Knowledge Center. And here we're trying to educate you on all things M&A and wealth management. There's also a buyer section where you can explore active buyers. The second part is an AI-driven matchmaking algorithm that is running a 2-way compatibility screen between the buyers and the sellers. No more choosing your partner based on guesswork. You've built a valuable business, and we think it deserves a process that honors that. Historically, you've had 2 pathways to really consider for partnership. The first is to go solo and to deal directly with buyers. The second is to hire an M&A advisor to help you manage the process. And we think going solo is a perfectly fine route, but it's not without risks. There are so many buyers out there. In fact, there are hundreds of buyers out there. How do you know that you've stumbled across the right one? How do you know that you've found the best one for you? The reality is you're likely a rookie in the process where the buyers are professionals, and so we think there's a big skills disparity between the parties that may not serve you well. The hiring of an advisor we think is a much better process, but the mechanism that they use to matchmake is what would be called a financial auction. How many here have ever gotten an email that looks like this if you're an advisor announcing a firm for sale? Well, this is the beginning of the auction process. The sell-side advisor is inviting dozens and dozens and dozens of potential buyers to the process with really no indication of whether they'd be a fit for you culturally. It's all about jamming as many buyers into the process as possible with the hope that getting them to bid competitively against one another is going to elicit a maximum price. So it's a better process, I think, than going solo, but it's not optimal. Well, what if we could match buyers and sellers together without them having to interact with one another based on a very large degree of objective and measurable data points? So here's how it would begin in our world. You simply input a little bit of information about your business and you apply for an account. You submit for approval, and then you're into our dashboard. This is your hub for the M&A journey. Through the onboarding process and the data that we collect, we can actually provide you with a very accurate valuation on your business. Then there's a knowledge center that you can explore and get educated on anything related to M&A, related to this particular transaction. Whether it's valuations, whether it's seller concerns, learning about the process, there's a whole host of information that you can explore and learn and get educated at your own pace. There's a lot of confusion out there that exists, so you can think of this as sort of your M&A compass to get educated. But this is the beginning of the data that we've collected. The most exciting part is our buyer information. We've curated the most comprehensive data set of buyers in the industry, all in one place for you to examine in private at your own pace. We've spent thousands of hours working with buyers to identify and gather information, everything about their business, from their history, their org chart, their acquisition model, their investment platform, their client experience, even down to the granular details of their tech stack. It's all in written narrative. When you're tired of reading about it, you can actually listen to them talk about it as well, as we've recorded video interviews with their executive team. We've discussed with their department heads, even with sellers who were in your shoes at one point and are now on the other side of the transaction. So for the first time ever, you can listen to buyers actually talk about who they are and what they're building and who they're interested in partnering with as well. I would say that knowing who the buyers are isn't the same as being matched with a buyer. For that, we need to move to our ideal outcome phase. Here, we're shifting from information about your firm to understanding who's actually compatible with you. As you've seen, we've already captured the buyer data, but now we're going to focus on your business and organize your data, both quantitatively and qualitatively. We're going to measure you objectively against the buyer models, so no more guesswork in determining who you should be talking to. Your data is then going to land in what we call our deal brief. The industry calls this a SIM deck. It's the stuff that any buyer would want to know about you to determine if you would be a fit for their team. In addition, we're recording videos with you as you articulate who you are, why you're seeking a partnership, a bit about your client experience, investment platform, and certainly all the important things that a buyer would want to know about why you would be seeking a partnership. Once complete, all of this information goes into our deal-ready assessment. It's your business realities, your ideal outcome, your deal needs and objectives, all to be used in the screens that we're going to run to match you against the buyer pool. Using your business fundamentals, your partnership preferences, your autonomy profile, and your deal needs and objectives, our AI instantly score ranks you against the entire buyer pool at once. No more auction fever that's driving the perception of partnership, a perception of fit for partnership. With the buyer and seller profiles now complete and rooted in measurable and objective data, not auction fever, it's time to meet your matches. It's the only buyer and seller compatibility screen in the country, showing you who you should be talking to based on facts and not guesswork. When you're laser focused on a smaller group of buyers, that allows you to open up the time to spend time with each other to get to a point of cultural conviction. And the interesting thing is when the cultural conviction is very high, the offers tend to be as well. So that's the Alaris lens. It's two parts with one goal, and that's happy sellers and happy buyers. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so very much. Okay, up last, but certainly not least, we have Modern Life. Modern Life helps the country's top advisors navigate and place life insurance cases faster and easier than ever. From sophisticated solutions in record time, leading carriers, and expert advice whenever you need it, Modern Life's technology offers the right coverage to fit every need. Here to end us on a high note, your 7 minutes starts now.
I'm Michael Kunyalian, founder and CEO of Modern Life, and I'm the last thing between you and welcome drinks. And I'm here to talk about the topic that I know all of you came for, which is life insurance. So at Modern Life, we have built a leading technology-enabled brokerage to empower top wealth firms and advisors to meet and serve all of their clients' financial protection and life insurance needs in a truly exceptional way. You know, our tools have really empowered advisors to provide exceptional quality advice with an unparalleled client experience with really a fraction of the time and effort that they would otherwise need. So let's dive in and we'll show you the platform. So the first thing you're going to see when you log into the platform is you actually have all of the data at your fingertips. In many cases, advisors have no visibility to all of their life insurance and other financial protection cases going on. And now you can drill in, you can double click and see all the activity related to any case. You can see the status of quotes, application, any client experiences. You can drill into any policy or any application to see all the outstanding requirements. You can see all of the details related to the policy, all of the premium details, all of the client and underwriting details, really just there for you to manage, as well as a place to securely track all of your documents. We have SOC 2, we are enterprise-grade security for your sensitive client data. We also have created really great seamless client experiences. So the first is our client fact finder. So I know all of you love having medical conversations with your clients. And this really makes it so you never have to do that again. So you're sending them a link that they can open on their phone and give you all of their health and lifestyle data in a way that's really easy and non-invasive, also as well as giving information related to current policies and a HIPAA release. So we're able to see all the information that the carrier is able to see before you apply, such that you're able to get the most competitive offer. We've also created a single multi-product experience for getting quotes. So unlike legacy brokers where you might have to have a different experience for one product and a different experience for another product, you can really go through and run through as many scenarios as you want in a really integrated, seamless way. For term, you can pick all the term lengths you want, all the face values you want. It's a really easy way. We've also built a proprietary AI that really has made it simple for advisors to do a lot of the hard jobs related to life insurance. There's a lot of specialized knowledge, and it's like having a product expert and a medical expert and a financial planner and a tax expert and really a sidekick there to navigate all of the things that you'll need to do. So in this case, what's a waiver premium rider? I can really easily query that it's a way to actually, if the client gets disabled, not pay for any more premiums during that policy. Also for permanent life quoting, we're the first ones to build instant permanent life quoting. So today, an advisor either needs to go into old school, scary legacy software and spend 5 to 10 minutes per quote per carrier, or they call their broker and in 4 to 48 hours, they're gonna get back 2 dense 50-page illustrations. Whereas we have the ability to go through and run through as many scenarios for as many quotes in a minute. We also pull through all of the client details, really making it easy and fast for you to be able to set up every case for clients across the country on there. So really making it very streamlined. If the client has a fact finder, all of this information will pre-fill and have made it just a very simple process to get started. From an underwriting standpoint, you have the opportunity to either enter underwriting details for the client and we'll use the carrier guidelines to actually predict the rating, or in this case, actually just enter the rating directly for as many rating categories as you want. And then that's it. We're going out to the full market. We're getting options from top carriers and showing you a broad sample. And we're really doing the synthesis to be able to show you all the pertinent details that you need to be able to make a great decision and give great advice to your client. All up front in a way that's easy for you to tune, easy for you to sort through and curate, and really be able to create a very high quality presentation with little to no effort. We've also created the ability to share these quotes with clients in a really meaningful way. Also for permanent life, rather than waiting 4 to 48 hours, you can go through and see a synthesized set of all of your permanent life quotes, plucking out all the pertinent details for being able to assess between them, from the carrier estimated rating, the cash value, guarantees, the premiums, really all of that information that you need. I'm also very happy to give you a glimpse of our latest product launch, which we'll be launching this week, which is our Express Decision platform. We'll be the first ones to provide as soon as instant decisions for fully featured market rate products. So rather than your clients either going through a simplified process and spending, paying 30% or more, or having to go through all the drudgery and needles and pain that is life insurance today, we'll be able to provide as soon as instant decisions for market rate products that have full features. So that way we're getting your clients what they want in a way that they want it. We're not inundating them with questions. We're not sending someone to their house to poke them with a needle in most circumstances. And we're really providing an easy, intuitive, fast experience that your clients expect. No one wants to spend 3 months buying life insurance. I know I didn't when I actually went through the process. But by really making it a way that a client can, on their phone, do something that they could otherwise, be drowning in paper or old school forms or really like taxing invasive questionnaires, we also give the client the ability to revise and review all of their inputs, making it just very simple, very streamlined, very safe. All the information's collected on the platform. You don't need to go across lots of different legacy tools to be able to do a single job. We also have a built-in DocuSign integration, so the client can see exactly what's going to the carrier. They have the ability to, review all the information, sign in all the places, and have full transparency and visibility for everything going on the application. And again, saving you time as you go. This is another DocuSign that your team doesn't need to do, and then that's it. And then that client really in seconds gets a decision where they got the product they needed from a top carrier at a great price with little to no effort. So wanted to thank you guys for your time. If you guys are interested in learning more, we'll be at Fintech Alley tomorrow and the day after. Also, you can go to modernlife.com or the QR code on the screen. Appreciate the time.
All right, Modern Life, thank you so much. Everyone, let's give it up one more time for all of the demo participants today. They truly did a fabulous job. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. Now, these 7-minute demos are truly just the beginning. Make sure you hit up Fintech Alley, go to their tents, have deeper, meaningful conversations. They are here for a reason. Now, please enjoy the rest of this evening. I'm your host, Diana Cabrices, and with that, enjoy Miami Beach.